The river pilot, named Jack, was a sturdy man with sun-kissed skin and calloused hands, a testament to years spent navigating the winding waterways. Each dawn, he would greet the day with the soft sounds of lapping waves against his boat. Jack loved these moments. The gentle rustle of leaves and the chorus of birds welcoming the sun filled him with peace. He enjoyed driving his small vessel up and down the river, guiding fishermen to their favorite spots and taking families on leisurely rides. His daily routine started early. After sipping strong coffee, he would check his gear and set out before the world awoke. The river felt like an old friend to him. He knew every bend and shallow spot intimately. With each trip, he felt a deep connection to its ever-changing moods. Some days it was serene, while other days it rushed with fierce currents. Jack often found joy in sharing his love for the river with others, telling tales of its history and secrets. However, little did he know that today would soon bring a startling turn of events that would test not only his skills but also his heart as he stumbled upon something far from ordinary. As Jack steered his boat along the river, a rustling sound caught his attention. He turned to see a figure staggering toward the bank, her dark dress tattered and soaked. As she stumbled closer, he realized it was a nun, her face pale and clammy. She looked disoriented, struggling to keep her balance. Panic gripped Jack's heart. Something was clearly wrong. The nun's eyes fluttered weakly as she collapsed in the soft mud near the water's edge. Sweat dripped from her forehead, and Jack could see she was burning up with fever. He quickly made his way to the shore, feeling urgency course through him. Each step felt heavier as he approached her. "Stay with me," he whispered as he knelt beside her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Help is coming." But there was no one around. It was only him and this stranger now left stranded in a world that felt increasingly treacherous. She murmured something barely audible, hinting at an emergency that demanded immediate action. The river had brought him here for a reason, and he felt compelled to save this woman before time ran out. Jack swallowed hard, feeling a surge of adrenaline as he knelt beside the fevered nun. He knew time was short. With a powerful grip, he gently lifted her frail body, cradling her against his chest. The current tugged at them, but his determination kept him steady. "Hold on," he whispered, focusing on the path ahead. With careful steps, Jack maneuvered through the soft mud, each movement weighed down by worry. The river roared nearby, threatening to sweep them away. Yet he pressed forward, knowing he had to reach safe ground. As he struggled against the water's pull, he could feel the nun's weakness. She was slipping in and out of consciousness. Jack pushed through the exhaustion growing in his own limbs. He finally reached a dry patch of land and laid her down gently, gasping for breath himself. He quickly checked her for signs of life. Her heartbeat was faint but steady. "You're safe now," he assured her, instinctively wiping the sweat from her brow. It was a small gesture, yet it filled him with resolve. Jack searched for help or something to bring her back to health, all while keeping an eye on the river that had brought them both together in this moment of crisis. As Jack knelt beside the nun, absorbed in finding a way to help her, a rustling sound from the nearby trees caught his attention. The air grew still, and an uneasy feeling settled in his stomach. From the shadows emerged a tall figure, his silhouette stark against the dimming light. It was the bandit groom, dressed in rugged attire with a menacing grin that sent chills down Jack's spine. The groom carried 2 loaded shotguns, one slung over each shoulder, and he approached with a slow and deliberate swagger. Jack's heart raced as he realized the threat this man posed, not just to him, but to the vulnerable nun lying helplessly on the ground. The groom eyed Jack with a mix of curiosity and amusement. "What's this?" he called out, his voice dripping with mockery. A river pilot playing hero? There was no mistaking his intentions. Threatening and powerful, he had come for something important, and Jack feared for the nun's safety. Jack stood protectively in front of her, ready to defend against any harm that might come their way. The tension in the air crackled like lightning. An unexpected standoff was about to unfold, and Jack knew he needed to act quickly. Jack's heart raced, pounding in his chest like a drum as he faced the bandit groom. The air around them thickened with tension, making it hard for him to breathe. He could see the glint of the shotguns in the fading light, and every instinct screamed at him to protect the nun behind him. Jack felt an icy grip of fear, but he couldn't let it take hold. He needed to stay focused. What did the man want? The uncertainty twisted in Jack's stomach. He scanned the bandit's expression, searching for any hint of his intentions. The groom's smirk was unsettling, a mixture of arrogance and cruelty. Jack's mind raced through possible scenarios, weighing his options. Could he talk his way out of this? Or would he need to fight to keep the nun safe? He glanced back at her, still lying weak and vulnerable on the ground. Her fate depended on his next move. Jack clenched his fists, determination flooding his veins. There was no room for doubt or hesitation. He had to stand firm and confront whatever dark purpose this bandit had come with. Every second felt like an eternity as he braced himself for what was to come. As Jack prepared for a confrontation, flashes of the nun's purpose flickered through his mind. Sister Maria had been sent on a mission to aid those in desperate need along the riverbanks, bringing food and medicine to those suffering from a recent drought. She was known for her kind heart and fierce dedication, always putting others before herself. However, this time her journey had taken a dark turn. Rumors of bandit raids had spread through the small towns, and one particularly vicious gang sought to capture anyone who dared to assist the desperate villagers. Sister Maria had bravely continued her work despite the threats, choosing compassion over fear. Just days before her encounter with Jack, she had delivered supplies to a family in a remote area. It was there that she overheard plans of an attack from the bandit groom, who intended to seize control of the territory by force. When she realized she was in danger, she tried to flee but became disoriented in the woods, leading her to collapse at the river's edge just as Jack found her. Now, with the bandit looming nearby, Jack understood that saving her wasn't just about protecting one life. It was about preserving hope for many others caught in perilous circumstances. The bandit groom, standing tall with an air of menace, fixed his gaze on Sister Maria with a smirk that revealed his cruel intentions. He had been tracking her ever since she disrupted his plans during one of her deliveries to the villagers. The supplies she brought were not just food and medicine. They represented hope for those living in fear of his gang. He stepped closer, shotguns resting heavily on his shoulders, and called out to Jack. "You have something that belongs to me," he taunted, his voice laced with malice. "That nun is in my way, and I've got plans for her." It became clear to Jack that the groom intended to capture Sister Maria, likely to use her as leverage against the villagers, a pawn in his game of power. Jack's blood ran cold as he realized the stakes had risen dramatically. He wasn't just fighting for the nun's safety. He was also battling against a ruthless man who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him as he prepared for whatever confrontation lay ahead, knowing that every decision could mean life or death, not only for Sister Maria, but for countless others depending on her goodwill. Jack's mind raced as he faced the bandit groom, torn between two terrible choices. He could flee with Sister Maria, seeking safety downriver, but would that truly save her? The thought of leaving her at the mercy of this ruthless man gnawed at him, filling him with guilt. The villagers depended on her for hope and help, and he couldn't shake the feeling that abandoning her now would mean abandoning their chance for survival. Yet standing his ground felt equally daunting. The bandits' guns glinted ominously, a reminder of the danger lurking so close. Jack could feel his heart pounding as he weighed the consequences. What if he confronted the groom and failed? The stakes had never been higher, and one wrong move might cost them everything. Suddenly, tension surged within him. He had always prided himself on being a protector, a guide through treacherous waters. This moment demanded the very essence of who he was. With a deep breath, Jack glanced back at Sister Maria, seeing the trust in her eyes despite her fear. In that instant, he made his choice. It was time to fight for her, for those she helped, and for everything he believed in. The air crackled with tension as Jack faced the bandit groom, who stood grinning with his shotguns ready. Jack's heart raced, each moment stretching into an eternity as he considered the lives hanging in the balance. "Step aside, river pilot," the groom sneered, his voice low and threatening. "That nun is my prize, and I'm not leaving without her." Jack clenched his fists, determination hardening his resolve. "You won't take her," he shot back, bracing himself to protect Sister Maria behind him. They were two men driven by starkly different motivations. One for greed and power, the other for compassion and duty. "Do you really think you can stop me?" The groom laughed, a chilling sound that echoed off the trees. He took a menacing step forward, the guns gleaming ominously in the fading light. Jack stood firm, eyes locked onto the bandit, recalling Sister Maria's unwavering spirit in the face of danger. "You underestimate what I will do to keep her safe," he asserted. In that moment, Jack knew he wasn't just fighting for Sister Maria. He was battling against everything the groom represented. As the standoff reached its boiling point, Jack prepared himself for whatever would come next. Just as the standoff reached its peak, an unexpected sound shattered the tense silence. A loud crack echoed through the trees, followed by the frantic barking of a dog. Jack and the bandit groom turned their heads in unison, startled by the commotion. From the underbrush emerged a scruffy mutt, racing toward them with a fierce growl, protective instincts flaring. The bandit groom's confidence faltered for a moment as he instinctively raised his shotguns to ward off the sudden threat. "What in the—" he began, thrown off balance by the dog's sudden appearance. Jack seized the opportunity, heart pounding with renewed hope. The mutt seemed undeterred by the danger. It charged at the groom with surprising courage. "Now's my chance," Jack thought, adrenaline surging through him. He took a step forward, readying himself to act while the bandit was distracted. This unforeseen twist created a crack in the groom's facade of control and made Jack realize that even in dire situations, help could come from unexpected places. With reinforced determination ignited by this moment, Jack prepared to confront the bandit once more, knowing that every second counted in securing Sister Maria's safety and taking back control of the standoff. With the bandit groom momentarily distracted by the barking dog, Jack seized the moment to act. He rushed forward, his heart pounding, and tackled the groom to the ground, knocking one of the shotguns from his grip. The surprise attack caught the bandit off guard, and Jack quickly scrambled to gain the upper hand. In that chaotic moment, Sister Maria's eyes flickered with awareness, and she struggled to sit up, sensing the danger around her but unsure of what was happening. "Stay back," Jack shouted at her, focusing on subduing the bandit, who fought back furiously. The two men grappled on the ground, each vying for control. Just as Jack felt himself losing strength, the scruffy dog lunged at the bandit's leg, biting down hard. The groom yelped in pain and rolled away, allowing Jack to regain his footing. Fueled by adrenaline and a fierce determination to protect Sister Maria, Jack advanced once more, pinning the groom down until he could secure him. With the threat neutralized, Jack turned to Sister Maria, relief washing over him as he saw her fragile yet grateful smile. Though she would need time to recover from her fever and fear, she was safe, and they both knew that together they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the dust settled from the confrontation, Jack sat by the riverbank, watching the water flow steadily past. The chaos of moments earlier lingered in his mind, but he felt an unexpected sense of peace wash over him. He had faced a crucial moment that demanded more than just physical strength. It had tested his courage, resolve, and commitment to protect those in need. Reflecting on his experience with Sister Maria, Jack realized how important it was to act when others relied on him. Her bravery had inspired him, reminding him that compassion and duty often come with great risk. He could have easily chosen to flee, preserving his own safety, but instead he stood firm, a choice he'd never forget. This encounter had changed him in ways he hadn't anticipated. He understood now that being a river pilot was about more than navigating the waters. It was about guiding people through their darkest times and standing up against cruelty whenever possible. As Jack looked out over the river, he resolved to continue helping others along its banks. The lessons learned today would shape his path forward, igniting a newfound sense of purpose that would resonate deeply within him for years to come. As Jack and Sister Maria began to gather their strength, they understood that this moment was just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. The river that had initially brought them together now symbolized both the challenges they faced and the hope that flowed through their community. While they had thwarted one threat, they knew that banditry was rampant in the area, and more dangers lurked along the riverbanks. Sister Maria resolved to continue her mission of helping those in need, but now with a renewed sense of caution. She understood that her work would require more than just compassion. It would involve vigilance and collaboration with others who shared her vision for a safer community. Meanwhile, Jack felt a deep commitment to stand beside her. He realized his role as a river pilot was not just about navigation but also about protecting those who ventured along its shores. Together, they planned to rally the villagers for support, creating a united front against the threats they faced. Their journey ahead would not be easy, filled with obstacles and uncertainties, but they were ready to face them side by side. A partnership forged in courage and purpose, ready to bring light into the shadows that threaten their lives.